Mm, okay, I think I like the way this image is looking. Been a minute since we went live, but we back with it. I'm gonna try to hopefully the data stays good. The weather's gonna be shifting. The background's gonna be changing. We outside, but should be decent enough. Let me check on a few more things right quick. Let me see. So as we get people in here, we'll just wait for a few people to get in. Maybe if y'all chat, whoever check in, let me know where you checking in from. Friday on the I think it's still, is it Friday on in Japan, in Asia? I think it might be Saturday morning over there. They doing things different over there, but we're not too far off of the East Coast time zone. I think we behind by like a hour. So yeah, Costa Rica, man. It's nice out here. I'm gonna just go ahead and start my talk, and y'all let me know where you're tuning in from. We got if you're watching on your laptop or TV, this will be normal format. But if you're on a phone, I don't know. I don't know. You might have the choice to watch vertical or landscape. I actually don't even know how that works. I just know that I'm pushing both formats right now. So maybe some of y'all can inform me. Let me know how that is. Ecuador. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I need to go to Ecuador. I got a friend that I met in Argentina from Ecuador. She was giving me a little bit of the lay of the land out there. And then I know some people that have been to Ecuador before. They said it was cool, but it seems like over the last year, Ecuador had some problems, like politically, safety. It just kind of went downhill, at least in the city, the capital, and then maybe some of the other major cities. So I don't know. I do need to go to Ecuador. Everybody I've met from there has been really cool. Um, yeah. So they've been my first impressions of the country. It's like that sometimes, man. You go to Before you even go to a place, you meet people from that place, and even though they don't represent all the people and they don't, whatever, but it still gives you a little bit of an insight to what it may be like in that country. And then if you can ask them as well, and then you can go a little deeper. Okay, so we got some people tuning in. Hopefully people are actually tuning in and it's not just quick scrolling. But we here in Costa Rica, and I did some filming out here. Got a little bit of beach time in, got some excursion in. I'm talking about I I'm gonna tell you, man, it's been a while since I've driven in a third world country as much as I was driving the other day here. Driving, bro. Hours. Mountain roads. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give a tip right now. If you do, well, most people know this. You can, when you Google your stuff about driving in Costa Rica, I'll say this: get that insurance, get that full insurance, just to take some of the burden off your brain. I didn't have any incidences, but you can see how they could happen very easily out here. A lot of things can happen on the road out here that you know people making wrong moves, and I'm used to driving a Tesla, so it's got pickup, it's got safety measures and all that, and that thing will spoil you when it comes to driving, man. So, um, driving out here, the only thing I would suggest is getting a car or SUV that has enough engine, especially if you're gonna be going through these mountains back there. Like you gotta have something that's getting up. I don't think I had any real issues. It just wasn't what I was used to. It was a little slow, a little weak on the pickup. Um, a lot of cars out here are in the same situation, but for me, it just didn't feel right, especially after just dropping off my Tesla, and then coming here and getting in that joint, and it sounding like a four-wheeled moped. Oh, I wasn't ready for all that, man. So it took me a little while to adjust. It took me like a full 2 days probably to adjust to that thing. But I got video on that. I'm gonna try to hurry up and put together the video from here on this trip and get that out before what is Christmas? We got Christmas in a few days, right? Like 5 days. I'm gonna try to get it out by Christmas. So that gives me 6 days. Even if I start moving around, I should be good. You know, should be good with that. But y'all let me know what y'all got planned for the holidays. Anything special? What's good? I see Filani Tales. He's hollering what's up. And David said he was in Ecuador. I forgot to label those, to put those up on screen. Trying to get back used to the StreamYard. But yeah, if we get enough people in here, we might have to start having a discussion here about maybe how often I should do live streams, the type of format, maybe hitting certain subjects like tech, travel news type of stuff. Don't want to get it too deep into the regular news because that thing is saturated, boy. Although it gets views. So if that's your intent, to get views, you can always go on the trendy hot topics. But here's the thing, man. A lot of y'all viewers, you got to start showing your respect. Some of y'all do have the respect, but show your respect and your appreciation for the guys that are just doing their thing in that lane and keep doing it. They don't get sidetracked by trendy issues or whatever, even though the CPM and all that might be hitting for it. But I think in the travel space, every now and then it's okay to dabble in the news, especially if it's relevant to where you are, travel and all that. But there's a lot going on nowadays, man. A lot. And I think most people's brain is probably overstimulated with some sensational news, sensational topics, beefs, all of that type of stuff. I mean, I get it. It sells, but it's not the best for your audience long term to push out certain type of content. So I don't know. I think maybe I'm contrarian. I'm just trying to go the other way, give people a little bit more. I won't say wholesome. I'm not trying to be wholesome, but a more relaxing vibe, chill type of content. Something you ain't gotta. I was with my friend for a couple days here, and the amount of time, and she's a very, how can I say, she's a very personable person, good attitude, talks, all of that. Unless she's sleepy, then like on the drive there, good conversation. On the drive back, she was conked out more than half the ride. But a lot of times, man, you notice, I do it myself, but when you're with somebody else and you notice like the screen time that people are addicted to, like we're all addicted to our screens. So, I mean, you guys are watching me on the screen right now for the most part, but it's also a different type of screen time when you cannot even reply, no commenting, nothing. Like you just, like the TikTok. I go back and forth if I want to download TikTok, start using it. But every time I look at it and I see somebody on it, I just think it's a digital insane asylum. That's what it looks like to me. The bright white screen, the back, like the layout of it just screams like mental case. The frequency of the feed and everything. I don't know, man. But it's good being here. And the place we went, uh, actually, the data was kind of spotty there, which was kind of good because we got the break from, the temptation of being on your phone all the time. A lot of, you're right by the beach. People more chill out there. The food was really good out there where we were. Traditional Caribbean or coastal food, this stuff they're making could be made in Africa as well. But it was, I think the sauce at the one place we went to, it was amazing, bro. Amazing. So, good food, good weather, good people, good amount of sun most of the time. Clouds are overhead right now, but you can see the sun poking through over there. And it was sunny for most of the day today. And the other thing too is out here, y'all that travel realize this, but people who don't travel as much might not realize it. But when you're by the equator, the closer you are to the equator, the amount of sunlight per all year round is constant. It fluctuates if you're on the equator, it probably only fluctuates by 30 minutes. Like you're going to have 12 hours of daylight all year round. It might go to 11:45, might go up to 12:30 as far as how much daylight you're getting, right? But and I think that Tropic of Cancer zone, like the equators here, Tropic of Cancer is a little bit wider. And yeah, it's a thing, man. When you're in the northern hemisphere, then you come down and you get a full day of sunlight, feels good. I ain't gonna lie. Feels needed. I might be going back up north. We'll see. But while I'm here, I'm gonna take advantage. I'm gonna take advantage of the sun. Get up early, crack them curtains open. If I can, get out they got a pool here. Get out by the deck, shirt off, shorts, and just let myself get radiated. I did a lot of that in Lima too. Maybe that's where I should go next. Lima, Peru. Okay, you said it's 1:31 in East Africa. Okay, yeah, it's late over there. 5:33 in Ontario, Canada. But Ontario, so it's 4:33 here. In Ontario, Canada, I was in Toronto in September, I think. I think it was September. Maybe it was late August. I put out a video there, but how cold is it there right now? That's what I'm wondering. And I know it's probably dark already at 5:33 in Canada. All of Canada is probably dark because they're that far north. I know in the DC area it was he said it's dark. Yeah. I know in the DC area it's getting dark around, I think right around now, just starting sunset is probably happening right now. But we're getting to the shortest days of the year in the northern hemisphere. And then it's weird now to think about it. DC definitely has that shortening of the days, and then it gets longer. But I think it's like a really fast for the DC area. I feel like it's really fast because they're like on the bottom of that shadow that comes down. And then as soon as it moves back up, the days just blow up in DC. It feels like in 1 month, you go from short days to regular days. And then a month after that, it's like you're in extra long days. So I know places that are really far north during the summer, they have, they can get 15 hours of daylight or more. But I mean, there's a lot of cities that are, inhabited with a lot of people, a lot of big cities that are on that line to get like 14 hours of daylight during the summer months. So yeah. Okay. 23 degrees Fahrenheit. E. That's that biting cold. You know what I mean? Like you get that. That's that cold where you go outside and it's like, ha, that go grab you. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, I ain't trying to. We had some of that in DC last week. I think it got a little warmer like the day I left. But yeah, that cold, 23 degrees. I went out and took some pictures of some people by the Washington Monument. On the day it was, I think it got down to 17 degrees later that day in DC. That ain't really supposed to happen in DC. That's not our temperature range. Our temperature range normally for the winter is probably, maybe 28 would be a really cold day, but typically it stays right around freezing. So 30s, low 30s. Um, I would say between low 30s and 40s, low 40s. That's our range most of the winter. But then you got this polar vortex to be slipping, getting loose, and then it'll dip down, and then we'll have the same temperature as, you know, 9 hours north of us, 9 hours driving north. Like, how is that even possible? That shouldn't even that should never happen. But yeah, it was 17 degrees that day. I was out there taking pictures, and my trigger finger was freezing up, bro, on the camera. I was like, hold up, take a pause. Let me warm up my finger. All right, hold tight, click. All right, let's go inside. I think took some photos for about 20 minutes. Then after that, and the sun was out. Nice imagery, all that. But after that, it was time to wrap it up. We had to take the rest of the shoot inside. So yeah, if y'all don't know, I'm actually starting to venture out and do photo shoots for payment, paid photo shoots. So I'm venturing out there, and at some point, I gotta actually LLC it and all that. But yeah, that's one of the things of doing YouTube, making videos, getting these hobbies like this. After a while, who knows, they eventually start paying you, which is wild. Let me see something very quick. Just replying to a message. Got some people hitting me up in Colombia. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be yeah, definitely gotta do that. The photo thing is getting, I don't know, I got into this YouTube thing, and cameras are cool, man. The camera industry is cool. Video, video pictures. I think it's one of the best things I ever did, actually, is picking up a mirrorless camera and learning all that. Not that any of it is, what's up, Jennifer? Appreciate you. Um, Not that any of my cameras have made the videos that much better. I think, the imagery, I think sometimes it's hit or miss, right? Sometimes I get it where everything's correct and it looks way better than it would on a phone or action cam. But obviously, the videos that are going to do better are the ones that are more story driven, have a clear mission going on. We got a helicopter flying back there. Where they going? Hey, see, I was thinking about flying the drone earlier too. I mean, I guess I could because you can see, if you're flying your drone and you see that going on, it's easy. You just make sure you out of the way, low, try to get out of his path. His path is very clear. Just stay out of his path and don't be moving it around. Like, stay where you are if you're out of his way, and stay lower to him if you can. And then yeah. Anyway, Yeah, you finally got a live. Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I've been doing them that frequently. Actually, you're a good person to ask, Jennifer, because I was thinking, how often should I be doing these lives? And I need to probably start hitting certain subjects. I like tech, I like travel. These are things, tech and travel, I could probably talk about for hours at a time. So, but I also want engagement, right? I don't want to do lives and then not have engagement from people. So that's why I think it needs to be start doing it on a regular basis, probably get the feel for it. You feel me? And then see how that goes. Probably at least one a week. One a week is cool, I think, for a little while, get some traction going, see how it goes. If not, if it doesn't do well, always I'm gonna still be putting out edited videos regardless. Yeah. Said more lives better helps the channel grow. Yes, it does. In certain ways. Now, and YouTube is always changing too. So at one point, lives was the thing. And if you're beginning YouTube and you're trying to get subscribers and get monetized, it's an easy win to do lives. The only thing is if your channel is mostly lives and then the algorithm sees you as a live channel, but you want to edit videos, I don't know, that might be contradictory. So that's where I'm trying to draw the line as well. I don't want to be a live channel. So here's the thing. Maybe it's like 2 edited videos, then a live. You see what I'm saying? And it can be a structured live where it talks about subject and then it can stay online. Otherwise, I feel like I do lives like this. They're random lives, I would say. It might make sense to keep them up. It might not to keep the live up. I might keep this one up through the weekend just so it can get some traction. Maybe new viewers are like, oh, who is this guy? What is he talking about? Well, if you don't know, I'm Tay International. I talk about travel. I go different places and I show how I want to see it. I'm trying to use quality imagery with, mirrorless cameras, a combination of mirrorless cameras, pocket cameras, and drone, and doing my little kindergarten magic in the editing to see if I can make something interesting. That's pretty much it. Okay, let me see. Said maybe once a week on a certain day, but remember you're overseas, so those time zones are different. True. Yeah. Right now I'm almost on the same time zone as back home. I'm just 1 hour behind, so it's not a big deal in Costa Rica. And most of the audience is going to be, I don't know, my audience might be varying out, but it's still it's more than 50% United States. So I'll tell you what, though, the people from Peru like to see their country. They like to see foreigners portraying their country. So I definitely say Peru is one of those where they're close to the East Coast time zone, but far enough away. A lot of stuff get a lot of views from there. But at some point, I'm probably going to go back to Asia and that side of the world, and then try to get that audience over there, more of them in, and that's where the time zone is. You got to be very cautious of it because they're about 12 hours ahead of the East Coast, United States, and then Europe is about 6 hours. Europe and where I would think. So yeah, my time zones, I think where most of my people are East Coast time zone, Europe, and Africa. So about 5 to 6 hours ahead of the East Coast, and then Asia, which is Thailand, Japan. So between 11 to 13 hours ahead of the East Coast. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to just gotta make it work, man. On YouTube, you do things. We brighten this up a little bit. How much we got? We got batteries doing good on the camera too. Laptop is probably the one that's the slowest, but I guess my feed is good. The image is good because I tried to connect Starlink, wasn't working. So now I'm just using my phone's data, and I haven't heard any complaints. So I guess we good. I guess we good. Uh, you currently posted in Florida. Okay, yeah, Florida's always good. Okay, you wait. You in Florida? Hey, you. How long you gonna be in Florida? I know Jennifer. You live in Italy, right? Yeah, that's right. I think last time we chatted, you were saying something about Florida. Yeah. You like lives, you see them as catch up. Yeah, that's a good point. They are a good time to catch up with the community. I mean, for me, it's good to see, you know, a lot of people. And if you do it on a regular basis, you'll see some of the same people. And it might be good to start doing that just to, I tell you what, man, when you travel in the travel space, there's a lot of people doing travel YouTube, right? But it doesn't mean you're going to connect with everybody. So your bubble is lonely. I mean, being a solo creator is a lonely thing. You're going to be editing by yourself. A lot of times you're going to be filming by yourself. You're going to be coming up with ideas by yourself. You're going to be researching by yourself. I'm not saying it has to be that way or it's the best way to do things, but that's the reality of it most of the time. So I think having a community or doing lives and maybe being able to bounce ideas off of trusted people, you know, I think a lot of people, we're over that stage now where people think they can just come in and boom and start asking things of a creator. I don't know you. I ain't never seen you in my chat before, you know, but after people build a rep, you know, creators actually start trusting some of the viewers on their ideas of things. So yeah. Jennifer says she's posted in Florida for a good amount of time. Okay, my bad. I do remember you saying that before though, that you were in Florida. So are you going home for Christmas so you can show us some go-go music? I can show you some go-go music now. I mean, I got videos. They're not full videos. They're not a full story. The thing about showing music though is, you know how it is with copyright claims. So even though the band may not hit me for a copyright claim, but they might be doing a song that's covered, and that song may be a copyright claim. Like the one song I'm thinking of that I got decent footage of was they were hitting the song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." Backyard Band was hitting it, and it hits different. Like you think of that song with Cyndi Lauper, and you think, oh, okay, that's cute, but it's better, and the go-go version is much better. Backyard's version is much better. It's more I don't know. It's more street. It's blacker. Let me just say it like that. It's the black version of that song. Like you think of that song, you think it's a very white pop song, and it is. But when it's in the go-go version, when Backyard hits it, the Backyard Band hits it, it's much better. And maybe I'm biased. That was if you're in the DC area, the DMV area, normally if you're into go-go, you know, that's normally older generations. The younger generation, they ain't so much into it now, um but you have your band or bands that you would go see, like we support them. We supported Backyard. If you're from Northwest DC, Montgomery, PG County right there, you're probably Backyard fan. Might not be your number one band, but and then also the age depends on your age. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent about go-go music. You don't see what you done did, Jennifer? You done started something. That's a good idea though. That's a good idea. What's your favorite place to go in Europe? Favorite place in Europe? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna start. I lived in Germany for 3 years, so I'm very familiar with Germany. Had lots of good times in Germany. I know how, when it comes to Europeans, I probably know them the best. Um, Made some good friends there, you know. Uh, so yeah, there's other places that have better beaches, you know, whether it's France or Italy or Greece has really good beaches. Um, the weather in Germany is not the best most of the year, but during the springtime and summer, it's good, you know. I don't know, man. People always ask about the favorite. I kind of need to. I know people want to answer, right? But my answer is always complicated when it comes to that because I don't really think that simply anymore when it comes to favorites. I always think conditionally. Like if you want, when I was there, if you wanted a safe place where people were relatively friendly, like they're not going to be overtly friendly and coming up to you, stuff like that. It's not like warm like that. But most of the time, at least in West Germany, you're not going to have too many problems with people unless you're being culturally insensitive to their culture. Um, yeah, things work really good, and that's a lot, man. People in France make fun of Germany because it works well. Like, can you believe that? They're like, oh, you like Germany with their clean and streets and everything's functioning? Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you, like, why would you say that? Why would you say like that's a bad thing? This is another black person. This is actually a family member, a black person saying this, right? I'm like, why would like that sounds ridiculous that you're saying that. But a lot of people are like that, man. A lot of people, and I'll say this: I was also ignorant of Germany before I went there. Had some friend who was stationed there, and I was still in the military. I'm gonna try to make this story short. I was still in the military, but I was visiting family in France on a had a little leave period, 30 days, whatever. So I went to France, and I was emailing one of my buddies, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we in Germany right now for a couple months. You should come over here." I'm like, "Hell no, I ain't going to Germany. Even Nazis and shit." Like literally, that's how ignorant I was. This is like 2007, bro. Yeah, I was just straight. I just thought, like, why would I want to go to Germany? I was thinking just it was just full of skinheads and stuff like that. He was like, "Man, go ahead, man." It's like we first off, we're over here, so you good. Second off, you nigga, you sound dumb. I was like, all right, man, all right. I'll come over. I'll be there Friday. I was like, I'll be there Thursday, but like y'all better pick me up for the airport, man. I ain't playing, but hey, I don't know nothing. No, I don't know German. I don't know nobody over there. That joint kind of scared me low key for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. Got over there. They picked me up from the airport. Went, got ready. Went out that night. Was at a little club. It was cool. It was cool. And I remember it was Thursday, so I was tired already from traveling. Because I had just got to France not too long before that, so I was only gonna be there for the weekend. And yeah, so we went out to the club. I remember I was out of the club and I was tired. And this one girl, this German girl, come up and she pushing my face like that, like what if like I was like, she was like, smile, right? I was kind of pissed, right? This is how messed up I was. I was pissed. The music was playing, so I grabbed her. I pulled her like outside so I can hear, so she could hear me. I was like, hey, you touching my face like that. Are you taking me home? Are we going home? And I was expecting her to say no. I was like, don't touch my damn face. Bro, I said, are we going home? She was like, yeah, why not? I was like, oh, dang. Okay, hold up now. I was like, all right, let's do it. So that was my intro to Germany. Went back with her, spent the night. the morning, I don't know where we were, right? So I told my buddy, like, hey, I'm going to her place. Make sure you keep your phone on because in the morning, whenever I'm ready to leave, I'm gonna have to hit you up. I know they were like, man, this guy. I was being a burden. Uh, but then we get to her place, do our thing. I don't know where the house is. She's like, oh yeah, yeah, this is. She's like, my brother's room was over there. I'm like, your brother's room? Like, I don't want to know nothing about your brother's room. Like, where we gonna be at? So we did our thing. We stayed there, slept over. Then in the morning, I smelled some food cooking, and I was like, yo, I gotta go. She was like, oh no, you don't want to have breakfast? I'm like, huh? Bro, she set me up, bro. She set me up. She set me up to go have breakfast with her mom and them. Her mom's actually, it wasn't nobody else but her mom. So I go out there. She's like, you want to have breakfast? I'm like, oh no. She's like, come on, you can do breakfast. I'm like, all right. So then I go to the kitchen. Mom's is in there. I'm like, oh. I'm like, what is it going? I was like, I look back at her like, come on, man. So anyway, mom's is cool. Sat down, had breakfast. I don't know if mom's wanted to practice English or look at the black man her daughter brought back. It was all good either way. It was all good energy. Um, breakfast was good. And then buddies picked me up, came pick me up, and we rolled out. Picked me up, and they had it was a Mercedes S class they was rolling in at the time. So they just rolled through, picked me up, boom, we was out. And then we went out another night. So during that period, I would say Stuttgart, Germany had in my opinion, had some of the best hip hop clubs probably anywhere at the time. I mean, like when you're talking about just staying on the beat of what hip hop was doing in the early 2000s, and then the way they were DJing it and all that, they were on it, bro. And you go in the club, and I'm talking about American troops who would go to this club. This was out in town, so it wasn't just Americans there. There was Germans there, a lot of Germans there, and Turkish, and other people who live in Germany. But even you ask some other Americans too, you're like, yo, this joint they actually playing some good music here, huh? They be like, bro, they playing better music than in the States. So I had a good time in Germany. I know it was a bubble that I was in, and I know things might have changed. I know they've changed even in Stuttgart, but it'd been hard to beat that area of Germany during that time anywhere else. But Europe has good stuff all around. You got to find these little pockets to go to, and it depends what you're into. If you're into skiing or hiking or gastronomy, gastronomy, you're going to be good in France, Lyon, France. If you want to go just walk around the city and just fall into a restaurant that got crazy amount of good food. I was in Lyon for a little while, Lyon, France, and I just walked into this one restaurant. It happened to be like one of the best chefs in the world. It's one of his restaurants, and even the salad, bro, the salad that they make before you get your main meal was the tastiest, brightest salad I've ever had. You can say what you want about the French. They not perfect. They got a lot of flaws. But when it comes to cooking, it's like them and the Japanese. They on a different level. Italians too, obviously with certain things. But I feel like the French make a habit when you go to the really good places, they make a habit of being very creative with things, but also studying the science of the food as well. So let me get to some more questions though. So short answer, I ain't got a best place in Europe, but obviously Germany, France, I have a lot of interest in those places, a lot of time there. I want to go to Croatia, Czech Republic people were always cool there, always had fun. I think I went there like twice, 3 times. Haven't ventured too far into Eastern Europe besides Hungary. I went to Hungary and Romania. Romania was cool, but I just missed the summer beach season. I was trying to go to the beach in Constanza, and I got there, and it was like they had just finished the last weekend. It was still warm, beach was nice, but there was no more partying out there, so I missed that. So I might need to hit that up again. Constanza. And I drove from the capital to the beach. It was like a 3-hour drive by myself. Just rented a car and drove out there. Drove from Stuttgart to Prague, there and back. That was a 5-hour drive. Did that one time with my cousin. He came and visited when I was in Germany, and I told him about Prague. He's like, man, we wish you could go there. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. Like, we go right now. Pack your bag. Let's go. So we went out there for the weekend. It was a good time, man. Yeah, so I want to visit Croatia. I probably need to spend more time in Italy. I've only touched Italy, like Sicily. I was there for a few days, and I didn't see a lot of it, to tell you the truth. So I need to go back to Italy and different parts of Italy as well. I don't want to be just in the cities. I think Rome and Milan right now have gotten I think they've lost some of their appeal recently from what I'm hearing. It sounds like it's a lot of pickpockets and crime going on there. So I probably want to get out to the real Italy. Yeah. All right, let me get to some of these other questions right quick. Yeah, my camera. I try to be good with the camera, man. This camera right here is a Sony ZVE1. Perfect travel camera. If you want to step up, if any of y'all out there want to step up and get a solid full frame camera, and you gonna make the investment on the camera and at least one lens, you're gonna need at least one lens. This right here is a 16 millimeter, so it's like one of the cheapest good lenses you can get, but it's a fixed range. Like you can zoom in because this one has digital zoom, so you could do like that, but you can't zoom with the lens, and that's all the zoom you're gonna get. What I just showed you right there out of this one. But 16 millimeter is probably good for YouTubers who want to do vlogging type of stuff. And maybe a filter like I got on this right here, so I can help adjust the brightness if I need to. But you got that. If you're a travel YouTuber and you want to go full frame, you want the best quality image, Sony ZVE1. I might have it in the description of some of my videos, but nobody was ever clicking my links, so I took them things off. But if you go to some of my older videos, if you see a link for camera, click on it and then look up the Sony ZVE1. Give your boy some credit. You know, I feel like a lot of the audience needs maybe a little refresher on how to support some of the YouTubers, like liking the video, like this video. Watch some other videos that I got out there. But yeah, I try with the camera game and keep the quality good or at a higher level. It's hard though. In the beginning, it was really hard to figure out what was going on with like a few things. And then once I started figuring out, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just try to keep my quality high. You know, if I'm editing a video, I edit in DaVinci Resolve. Because they have the best, you have the most flexibility with coloring in DaVinci Resolve. And a lot of times when I'm doing my videos, I'm recording in a format, log format, so I can stretch my colors if I need to. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it looks like trash. But I like experimenting. I do. How long have you been in Costa Rica? Has it impressed you so far? Yes, I've been here a few days so far. I'd say the thing that really impressed me about where we were, a few days ago was what impressed me. Actually, just how really mild the temperature was. I thought it was warm, but I thought it would be hot. and it wasn't. It was like perfect temperature, a lot of birds. So I got the camera and the lens. So I took out one morning and did a little bird photography. What? But the thing I laugh about it because most bird photography you think they back somewhere with a long ass lens and bro, these birds were like right here. Like birds that you normally would never see chilling like that were like I got video of this and you ain't gonna believe me till you see the video. I was talking to this bird. I'm like, yo, man, what's up? He like, blah, blah, blah. And I say, hey man, you gonna let me take this video? You look. I would say something, he respond. It was just a normal bird. So I'm the bird whisperer now, man. The bird man. Nah, but it's if you get a camera and a lens, I think eventually you're going to try your hand at filming animals, filming or taking pictures of animals. Birds are probably the most challenging. That's also accessible. You could say, oh, a tiger is really challenging. Well, that ain't accessible for me. I ain't in Bengal, India, you know? And if I was, I don't know if I'd be trying to get no wild tiger. Cause you trying to video them, they hunters, bro. They not trying to let you be in front of you. They trying to be behind you. And then after that, they gonna try to jump on you with 600 pounds of claw and teeth. You don't need that in your life. for a photo, video, I don't need that. Anyway, I went off on a tangent about that too. Lounge? You know what I mean? Like last time you went to the lounge. Let me see. What you talking about? Oh, did you ask me a question before? The Go-Go Music Lounge. Man, I don't know. I've never lounge. I'm trying to think. A lounge in the DC area? Go-Go Music. I went off on Go-Go Music. You talking about Go-Go like a strip club or something like that? I ain't been to one of those in a minute. Actually, I was talking with somebody today about, he was talking about some strip club we went to. And I think that might have been the last one I went to in Colombia. And that was about 3 years ago. Yeah. Anyway. It was all right. It was all right. I was in France, Germany, Holland, Belgium back in the 90s. Loved it. Yeah, I bet, man. 90s had to be lit. Early 2000s was still good. It couldn't have been as good as the 90s though. Because I'm thinking like late 90s. I was in Japan like the end of the 90s, like 98, 99. So that was good. Japan was good as well back then. I was down in southern Japan. So one of the cities we hit up a lot was Fukuoka. The Fukuoka hip hop was good. The hip hop club scene was good. The girls there. All right, another story. Talk about Japan. I should make videos of just these stories, save them and do like some other people do. But yeah, Fukuoka, I remember going there and meeting a young lady. And it was literally my first week in Japan. Went up there, went to the club. I didn't know what a single thing meant in Japanese. I didn't even have, so when you go to overseas, most of the time they give you base orientation where they teach you a little bit, and it's something that you got to go to for about 3 or 4 days. And you go in and they give you a little bit of information about the culture in a place. And I know some people blow it off, but me, it's when I was a young sailor, that was interesting to me. It still is interesting to me. But they hadn't had the orientation yet because I was still so new. But went up there and this girl was speaking Japanese to me. I didn't understand nothing she was saying. She didn't speak no English. and I ended up going back with her to her place. But I remember she was asking me to go back with her and her friend, and I was like, bro, I don't even know where I'm at in the world. Like I know I caught a bus up here, but I'm like an hour away from my base that I'm stationed at. And somebody just told me about this club, so I just went by myself. And and then while I was in the club, it was a Marine, and he was over. I didn't know him. I met him there, and then he started talking to a friend. So I met him when he started trying to hit on a friend. Then we started talking. He's like, yeah. I was like, he was on a different base. So I was like, man, I don't understand nothing she's saying. What's she talking about? He's like, man, I think she's trying to take you home. I'm like, damn, real. So we dealing with all that, and then I guess he's in good with her friend. So we decided to go back, and I was like, man, I don't know what this girl's about, blah blah blah. And we go out to her car, and she got a brand new Mercedes Benz, bro, red joint. And I'm like, it gave me a feeling of relief. At least she got some money. She bought something. So then he was saying, he's like, yeah, man, I think they models, like they do some modeling stuff or something like that. Who knows? They probably just working for the salary man. But yeah, went back to her place, typical Japanese place and all that. But yeah, Japan was a good time in the 90s, man. Real good time. Early 2000s. Okay, what else? Let me stop reminiscing. I know some people in here might be older. Some people in here probably younger, like, what? You talking about 90s? Yeah, man. I try to tell some of my nephews, you tell them a story about, when was he born? He was born in 2007 was the oldest one. So anyway, these guys born after the 2000s passed, so the youngest one's 14. So you try to tell them some stuff about 90s and they think it's like if we heard stories about the 1940s or something. I'm like, bro, we still had the internet. We might not have had, Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok. We definitely didn't have none of them, but we made it work. These guys now, man, they look at you funny if you talking about just going up and talking to a woman face to face. But I had to give them an in-life lesson too. Show them how that's done. They don't appreciate it though, man. These young folks, some of the young ones don't appreciate it. They will later though. Let me see. That's a dope travel story. Yeah, Stuttgart was good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Stuttgart was a jam. A YouTuber crush? Okay, I appreciate it. Apparently, eco credentials. Yes, I do believe that there are a lot of American and European tourists that come to Costa Rica. Even here, actually, I think that's one of them right there. Actually, older lady. Yep, that is them. When I was coming up back in this hotel a little bit earlier today, I noticed they had this cart and they had these big, really big tripods. I'm like, oh dang! So y'all taking? What y'all taking pictures of? And they were like birds. She said like, of course, birds. I guess that's a big thing in Costa Rica, but you'll see a lot of that like ecotourism coming here. Another girl I met in the airport I was talking to, she's dressed out in hiking gear, hiking boots, hiking pants, backpack, and asked her where's she going, and she said La Fortuna, where they got volcanoes. She was telling me about the tour company. I think it was Gate One or something like that, and I also saw that tour company in this hotel with another group. So I think it's one of the easier places if you want to do that type of thing, like hiking, nature exploring. Costa Rica is a very plug and play type of place. I would say next on that plug and play list is probably Peru, Machu Picchu, all the stuff they got going on. I still have videos on Peru that I need to drop. All my stuff in Peru is Lima right now, but I have a video about the tourist center and how accessible it is. You can just walk in off the street, boom. They don't have any bias of any company or anything like that. They just give you the information. They have people there who speak English and can give you more information. They have all the pamphlets of all the different trips. And they have multiples of those in the city of Lima, in the areas that you would probably be hanging out, like Media Flores. Media Flores, I think, has two of them that I know of. One in right outside of Kennedy Park, and another one not too far from La Comar Mall, the big mall that's right by the cliff. So yeah, I love birds. They're so inquisitive. Okay, inquisitive and have a good sense of fun. Yeah, I don't know if they be. Well, I think of birds. I don't think some of them I know be having fun, but most of the time when I look at birds, I just think like they're just really in tune with what's going on. Like they're always worried about. They're always paying attention. They got eyes on both sides of their head, right? So they ain't never looking. Most birds that unless they're a bird of prey, their eyes are on both sides of their heads, and they got like GoPros on both sides of their heads. So they seeing all of that behind them. I think they only got maybe a sliver in front that they don't see and a sliver in the back that they don't see. So I think they're always worried about potential threats unless they're really comfortable, but they're still always tweaking. But you do notice in some places they're really relaxed. In Lima, the birds seem really relaxed to be in a city environment. And then also where we were in the coast over here, it wasn't city environment and they were very relaxed. So yeah, it was smaller birds though. It was nothing really not like a toucan or something crazy like that. All like medium to small birds. Let me see what else we got here. I might have to charge up the laptop. Hold up, we can do it though. We can do it right here because I got this power bank. Boom. Phone is fully charged. Let me see. Here goes some more tech I got right here. Look at this thing. This is a crazy ass battery. It just powered up my phone to 100%. Still got 80. Yeah, so we can run for a little while. Although it is getting dark out here, and we got room to go on the camera too. We can light it up. All right, so yeah, we talked about birds. Let's go to the next question. I got to run down. I appreciate this. I appreciate the questions coming in and y'all being proactive. So I ain't got to feel like I'm alone here talking to the camera like a crazy person. Although I'm a little crazy. I have been following you for years and I need to go and watch some of your videos I've missed. Yeah, man, please do. Please do. Some of the stuff I put out, I feel like I've been getting better. I watched some of my old stuff from Colombia back in the day when I did a few videos with my friend that I met in Bogota. I watched one of the videos we did back then. I was like, man, that was like a classic. It feels so nostalgic to watch that. And I filmed that all on an iPhone. And I was doing it with a different editing program, but it's a very basic editing program, especially back then. And it just felt real nostalgic. It felt cool to see it again. So you might enjoy it as well. I don't know, watching some of the old stuff from back then, and then maybe some of the newer stuff. I think I started using a mirrorless camera with the Barranquilla video, and it was kind of hit and miss. There was good parts, but then there's some parts where I was moving the camera too much, and I didn't realize that camera had rolling shutter, so it might look a little jello-y. Some people notice it, some don't. Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Está bien? Okay, gracias. So I think I didn't notice it completely, but it did well for that video. But that was 2021 where I first started dealing with a mirrorless camera, the Sony A7 IV was the first one, and then now I'm on the ZVE1. It's a better travel camera. I still have the A7 IV, but most of the time, if I'm traveling, I'm just taking the ZVE1. Yeah. All right. What other question we got? Okay, you're a lot older. Okay. Hey, we all gonna get old eventually. I mean, I'm old too, especially if you ask my nephews. You know what I mean? I'm old, but um, I think if you got gray hair, you know what it is. You got gray hair, you know, you got the wisdom hairs coming through, the silver beard, mustache, head. You know what's up. Okay, okay. I think we hit that one already, right? I found your channel around 2019 when Ace was in Colombia. Okay, you were on one of the lives. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's those were classic times too, man. We was traveling. I was chatting with Ace recently, and I was saying how I think he was mentioning about somebody was trying to say how he been on there for Ace been on YouTube for 15 years. Like, bro, he started doing his channel in 2017. And I think but the difference though is he hit the ground running. Like I had YouTube videos. I've had YouTube videos. I think I got YouTube videos right now that are over. My first YouTube video I put up was in 2007, and I made it public. But my main intention was just having it off my phone. It wasn't like I was. YouTube was different back then. Right before I went to Germany, all them that Germany stuff I'm talking to you about. I got videos, a lot of videos from there that I took down because they didn't really vibe with the travel content. Because a lot of videos I did there, I was in cars and driving on the autobahn at 160 miles per hour legally, but had the camera posted up in a certain position and just doing it like that. Looks like some girls from a nearby restaurant were coming up and taking photos of the sun going down. I should have got them on the live. You know what I mean? But yeah. And that's another thing too. It's funny because they're in here taking Christmas photos. And I noticed that's a big trend now. And I kind of like that trend, but a lot of young people now are getting inspired by Instagrammers and TikTokers and going to places, discovering like their own areas and taking pictures like inside of hotels, certain scenes. Bro, my nephew, if y'all seen the DC video, the trains, he was my cameraman on that, you know. But one thing I'll give him is he has an eye for what's a good photo. He was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I want to go here, like, and take a picture in front of this thing right here. Obviously, he doesn't know cameras like I do, but it's funny. Like me and him make a good team when it comes to that because he can recon places, and that's what I told him too. I was like, hey, you want to go take pictures? I don't want to be guessing nothing about where to go. You go ahead and research the places. I got to stay on him about that because he'll get lazy. But when he sees something that looks aesthetic, you know, they know how to do that. But they got the young people got these poses they be doing now. They did complete opposite of the poses we did when we was young. When we was young, we did poses like this. Like, yo, they do poses like, you know, it's totally different. The pictures look good, I ain't gonna lie. But it's like, bro, like I would have never thought that would be a thing. Like if you from our generation, our time, you can't take pictures like that. You just can't. Even though they might look better, you just can't do it. It's wild. But yeah. Okay, they got some fireworks going off. Boom. Is it gonna pop? Pop? No, they just going up. Where they shooting it from? They're shooting from the stadium, I guess. Like right there. It's not big enough yet for me to share with y'all. Look like they might be testing even. Anyway, birds are hyper vigilant. True. That's what they gotta. They want to survive. They gotta stay hyper vigilant. Checking in from Michigan. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It gotta be cold up there, Michigan. Come back to Peru. Peru's on the list. Peru's on the rotation. Especially Lima. Lima's on the rotation, bro. I'm gonna be back there. That place. It's funny. Like everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh, where you think you gonna go next?" I'm like, "Man, I might just go back to Lima, man." It's warm down there too. Like in the back of my head, I know what it's like there. At any place I think about going, I'm like, man, I should just go back to Lima, man. What I'm talking about. Going here, it's cold over there. Got to go here, deal with all that. I go down to Lima. It's about to be like it is this summertime now. So they got. Let me check. Let's check. Let's see how much daylight they got right now. What the temperature is in Lima. You know how you can do that on your weather app, right? On your iPhone. There you go. Lima already up on my look. First drink popped up. Lima, 69 degrees. Today's temperature range was from 60. Today was from 63 low, 77 high. And let's see how much is like partially cloudy today. But okay, sunrise was at 5:40. Sunset is at 11 or 6:30. So that's over 12 hours of daylight right there. Yeah. 12 hours and 50 minutes of total daylight in Lima. Can y'all see that? Let's see. Bam, there you go. Yeah. You see that compared with let's let's compare it to let's just give y'all a good okay, we were talking about Stuttgart, right? Like I do love Stuttgart, but dang, the temperature's between 39 and 49, and it looked like it was raining, so it's not too cold right now there, but bro, sunrise in Stuttgart was 8:13 a.m. and it's going down. Sunset was at 4:30. 8 hours, 15 minutes of total daylight. Come on, man. I ain't trying to deal with that right now. You believe me. 8 hours. And then, all right, let's just so keep it in the middle. Let's go to DC. DC temperature range today 33 to 59 degrees. And sunrise was at 7:22. Sunset was at 4:49. Total daylight hours 9 hours 26 minutes. And they say we're all vitamin D deficient if you live in the United States. If you live above Atlanta, Georgia, you're guaranteed vitamin D deficient during the wintertime, during the winter months. Guaranteed. And that's not even equating for the fact that a lot of people are staying inside most of the time, most of the day. And that I think that's equating for fair skinned people, like light skinned people, light to white people. They say if you have darker skin, you need 3 to 6 times more. And people wonder why my Black American people are crazy. It's because of that. We deficient, bro. Need to get that sun. We all need to get that sun, but especially if your skin is making it harder for the light to come in for evolutionary protection reasons. You know what I mean? You can't deny that, bro. You can't deny the fact that we are different. There are differences. Some people want you to think, oh no, that don't mean nothing. Y'all good. Better watch person that tells you that, you better pay attention to him close. Watch that person's move. It's either they dumb as hell or they want you to crash and burn. It's funny how the medical field never really brings that up, but as much as I've traveled, I've gone from, I've gone from places that are barely getting any light in the wintertime. And then the next week I'm in a place where it's close to the equator. And I felt like I was eating worse food when I was by the equator, but I felt way healthier after 2 days. I think I mentioned this before, but I've noticed after about 3 days in the sun from not being in the sun, after about 3 days of being in the sun, my testosterone goes up. And people say, how you know that? I can feel it, bro. Like I can just feel it. Like the quickness that you move, the quickness that you react to things just goes up and nothing else changed. Actually, sometimes, like I said, my diet has gotten worse, but I'm just spending more time in the sun. It's different, bro. So, yeah, I think I need to do, I want to talk about that with more research behind it. I've looked at the research and it's all agreeing with my thoughts on it, but I actually want to actually maybe do a live or a video where I talk specifically about that and bring out the sources and show what's going on. But that's a real thing. Lack of sunlight can definitely, I would say, put a dimmer on your life in a lot of ways. I had good friends in Bogota. I had never been there yet, but hoping to visit in the new year. Bogota is cool, man. The thing about Bogota, talking about weather and all that, it's a strange place because it's on a plateau. It's at 8,000 feet. Like Medellin is at 6,000 feet. So there's a little bit of altitude in Medellin. Most people really wouldn't notice it unless you start walking the hills, right? Because those hills in Medellin, they would kick your butt if there was no altitude. Like if you just had those inclines. So it's kind of hard to notice unless you climb those hills. Even when you climb the hills, you're thinking it's just the hill, but it's also the altitude in Medellin. But the altitude in Bogota, even when you're walking on flat ground, you're gonna feel it, even if you're in good shape. And if you're not in good shape, you probably should not be walking more than 5 minutes for the first 2 days. So that's one thing about Bogota. If you've never been to that type of altitude before, it's not crazy amount of altitude. It's 8,000 feet. So it's like the same altitude that they pressurize you in an international flight. Because the plane is flying at 32,000 feet. You think everybody would be passed out if the altitude was the same. So they pressurize it to 8,000 feet. If you're on a private jet, they pressurize it even lower to like 4,000 feet. So you feel really fresh, even if you're on there for 8 hours. But yeah, so 8,000 feet, Bogota. You probably should just take it easy the first 2 days. Let your body acclimate. At least one day. You at least need to sleep over 1 day before you go out and start walking around the city. Don't do that on your first day. You'll be messed up. Probably get headaches and then think, Bogota's not for me because you did it stupid. But you go there, you relax, chill, stay in your hotel, watch movies, whatever. Next day, maybe take a short little walk, go somewhere. Then by like day 3, 4, you should be able to do regular stuff. The other thing I'll say about Bogota is the weather can change all year round. You could be there on Christmas and you might go outside and be 70 degrees. And then that night is dropping to 50 because the altitude. And then the same in the summer. Like in the summertime, it's not going to really change that much. It might drop only to like 60 something. But it will still get cool. I've been there before where they had sleet. It was rain, then it turned to sleet. Then it opened up and the sun was out and it felt good again. Doesn't matter the time of year. Bogota is its own place because it's actually in the tropical zone, close to the equator, but because of the altitude, and I think it's on a plateau. So Bogota is like a mountain that went up and was flat all on the top, and then they carved it out, made it probably even flatter for certain parts. But yeah, then if you go to some of the higher parts, it's at 10,000 feet, and 10,000 feet is actually I think that's the highest parts of Bogota, but like the I forgot the name of it. Starts with an M. Dang, forgot the name of that place. But it's a very scenic place. The church is up there. That's 10,000 feet. So if you've been there for a little while and you want to work out, you can do that on a weekend and walk up there, or you can catch a little train that goes up if you don't want to put in the work. But it's a thing in Bogota. But I like it though. Bogota is good. It's a good city. They got good food. You do got to watch out though. It can get grimy. You'll see the parts that are grimy, and you'll see certain things, certain areas. You'll know where not to be and where to be. It's pretty obvious, but especially at night. But if you're used to that type of environment in the States, you probably, like most of Colombia, don't be flaunting your phone or jewelry or anything like that, and you're good. All right, what else? Go somewhere new, totally out of the box new. Okay. Totally out of the box new. You gotta give me some suggestions, And then, from there, then maybe think about YouTube though, man. Like, it is, I feel this way. Maybe it's not true, but I feel like a lot of YouTubers who are doing YouTube will watch other YouTubers. I watch other YouTubers, right? And see them talking about something. And then there's some YouTubers that are just, how can I say this? They're on the grind. They see it as a grind. I gotta, okay. Oh, they talking about that. I'm gonna go out there before they get there. Or I'm gonna hurry up and go out there and do this. More power to them for that type of energy and all that. But it's not, I don't think it's it's not good for your mental stability if you continue doing that for, an extended period of time. It might be interesting and fun at first, but then at some point the fun will fade and you feel like you have to do that or you're not winning. Yeah. So, but yeah, drop the info. I don't care if somebody beat me to it or not. I'ma still go. I'ma still do it. That's what they got also talked about too. That's a big reason why a lot of YouTubers can't work together, is because sometimes people want to be too original. Oh, I want to have this. I had this idea. I did that. I did. I was the first. Come on, bro. If you over 30 years old and you talk about I was the first, slap yourself. Slap yourself to the ground. Come on, man. You out here worried about who first? Not evolving. My opinion. Staying very, very basic. I feel like, yeah, I mean, definitely some out the box places will be cool to go to. But I also feel like the time and energy needs to be right for it as well. I got a few places on my list that I haven't been to before that I don't see a lot of people go. I mean, I'm sure if I research it, there's a lot of videos on it already, but it's some places I'm thinking about going where I actually know people, got family in places. And sometimes I think about it like, damn, y'all wouldn't think I got family in these places. Yeah. And if I go there and I feel them, I'm saying, yeah, I got about people showing me around. I'm like, what? Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. I see why they call you, why your name is Tate International. You can thank my granddad for that. He was doing his thing till his 80s. Till the 80s. I got uncles that are younger than me by a lot. You know? I got two uncles, bro. They twins. I don't call them uncles, bro, obviously, but technically they are. They twins. They look like Keith Sweat. They both look like Keith Sweat. They model and shit. Like, bro, the gene pool is good, man. The gene pool is good. Sorry for all you girls that missed the opportunity back in the day. You know what I mean? Some of y'all was bullshit. Some of y'all was bullshit. You know? Try to help y'all out. Try to help y'all out with the keeping a tight bloodline, but you know, you got too much definitely now it's worse than it was before, but you got a lot of young women with too many choices, and they always seem to make the worst choices. They don't want to make the hard. Most of the time, the correct choice is a little bit harder than the easier choices. But anyway, it told me about the weather. What you mean? Let me see what's up. Yeah, no problem, man. With the info, I think we were talking about the info for what was he talking about the info for? I was giving you the info on Bogota, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, weather. Gotta watch that weather, man. Okay, the north of Bogota is rough. Yeah. Stay out of North Bogota. There's no reason for you to be over there. There's not. If you get an Airbnb and you talk about way over there, nah, bro, you good. I would say the best areas are probably Zona T, right? But then all that area around that too. I think Zona G is also good. Like they call it the financial district. And then also there's an area by the embassy, the U.S. embassy. The area over there is closer. It's like halfway between the center of the city and the airport. That's cool, but it feels a little sterile over there by the U.S. embassy. There's one more area that's in the center, not too far from Zona T, and it has a park there. It's like they got a lot of Airbnbs that are really good, and they're safe and all that. He was a get around. Yeah, I mean, people get around. You know what I mean? Actually, no, Granddad was not a get around. They came around. He kept producing though. He kept producing. Old school Africa. You know? Yeah, this was in West Africa. I'm talking about my granddad in Africa. So although my grandparents in the States, you know, they stayed together, but they had a total of 10, which is a lot, you know, but I think their plan was to mainly use them as workers for the farm. Then my mom and them was like, nah, I ain't staying out here. I'm going to DC. And then I think her older sister shot up north. Then my mom shot up north. And then I think one more. And then one of my uncles went up north for a little while. And then, so at least 5 of them did some time north of North Carolina. That's where they from. So, but they all came back to Carolina. But yeah, but now the family situation is totally different now. Like I'm single, no kids, right? And I think it's partially because the culture has shifted so much. Back then, even in the States, you kind of had a need. In the South, you had a need for kids because they were like your free workers. Hey, Y'all can say what y'all want to say and make it sound politically correct. That's what it was. We need some people to work these hogs, work this cornfield. That's what it was. The whole reason you got big family in the South, because they wanted people to work. The family needed people to work. That meant more money for the business. A lot of people don't want to recognize that reality, be talking some old crazy shit. Get out of here, man. I think that's one thing about this administration. They came in, they brought a very blunt force reality check that has been needed for a little while. It'll be blunt for a little while, then it'll go back to normal in about another 2 years, I think. Natural ebb and flow. Because what we was talking about before, everything was politically correct. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. What? Why not? What we talking about? What's good, Moni? Where you been at? Yeah. So yeah, we've been live for how long? We've been live? An hour and 26 minutes. Battery on the camera still good. Let me check the temperature of this camera. Nice. Sometimes these cameras, man, you can have problems with going live because it demands a lot from it. And but so far today, we've been good, man. I was thinking about going to a nightclub tonight. Still early. It's only 5:56 right now. I was thinking about going to a nightclub and maybe filming a little bit of it, see what it looks like. Let me take this thing off. Hold on 1 second. Take this filter off. Bam. We back, even clearer than before. That joint look nice. I ain't gonna lie. At least from what I'm seeing. I don't know how it looks on y'all's devices. This little filter thing. Sometimes they come in. They do come in handy a lot when filming during daytime bright situations. But right now, this camera is really good at night. So if you give it some light, it'll eat it up. It'll eat that light up. Yeah. Okay, hold up. What you mean me? What you mean me? What's this? And then this. Are y'all on the same account? What did I eat for dinner? Actually, I went to this place around the corner. It had I think it was like a little bar or something, but it had um orange chicken and rice. And I felt like the orange chicken was recooked or reheated. Also had a little mojito. It's been a minute since I had any alcoholic drink. I want to say about 3 months, and even that one I didn't even finish it. Um, but yeah, so if I go out tonight, I'm gonna probably have at least one drink, probably just one drink, and then hold that thing like even after the ice melt, I'm gonna still be holding it, acting like it's fresh. Uh, Let me see. How warm is it here? I think it's about low 70s right now, but let me check. Let me see what the actual app says it is here. 71. 71 degrees. So it's starting to get a little chilly right now in the city of San Jose. But where I was at last couple of days, I think at night the lowest it might have got was maybe like 70, 74, 75. And then during the day, it might have got to like upper 80s, mid to upper 80s, but it had a nice breeze. So it was really cool over there. Really, really good. It's cool here. This is actually, I think it's, let me see how low is it supposed to get tonight. So it gets down to 61 degrees here tonight with a high of 77. So it's the same temperature as Lima, Peru, which I was just looking up a little while ago. Okay. Said it here in Italy, it's 6 what? Degrees Celsius? That's zero is 32. So I'm thinking that means like it's about 42 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. Yeah, Europe is gonna be cold. Europe is gonna be cold right now. I was thinking about going there. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna duck off. Although if I go to some other parts of the world, I might have to stop through Europe. I was like, I don't even want to do that. I just want to go direct. If I go to Africa, I just want to go direct. Because I think Europe, April, May, maybe even March, I think I can take that cold when there's going to be some warm days popping up and the days are getting longer. I can take that. But when it's cold over there and then it's dark for a lot of the day, you don't notice it that much when you're actually busy working because you're just going to work, coming back, recocking, going to work again. It's not so bad because you don't notice as much. But when you don't gotta work or you can work from home, you notice that. You notice that a lot. So yeah, Europe is off limits for me this time of year. Or if I do go, it's going to be for a very small amount of time. I don't need to be there during this time of year. So we'll see about that. Let me see what else we got. You want some? Oh, okay, some orange chicken. Yeah, the orange chicken wasn't all that. The orange chicken was,
it's really 7
like I said.
series. No, I guess this is 17.
Oh man, we got some people out here.
Oh no,
they gonna start talking loud because I'm here on this live. But it's not even that it wasn't. It just felt like it was reheated. The orange chicken. It was alright. It was tasty, but just didn't like the fact that it felt like that. So true. I hate the people look all day. Yeah, make me sad. So true. When I'm working, yeah, you don't notice it as much. You'll go with me? Okay. Have you been to south of Peru? No. Only place I've been in Peru is Lima, man. Lima was cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't expect it to be all the videos I saw. You know, I looked up places, looked up videos of people who went there before, and all the videos I saw Lima before, for some reason, I'm sure there's plenty of videos that show otherwise, but all the videos I saw showed it with overcast, cloudy. I'm like, okay, so it's a big city that's cloudy, right? And it is after their summer. So they got opposite summers down there. They're in the southern hemisphere. So this time of year, there's summer all the way till, I would say, April, May time frame. And then it starts switching back over. And it's just more cloudy, more rain. So they might have multiple days where it's just cloudy all the time because they're right by the Pacific. So that marina layer is part of it. So it's coming in, and I guess it doesn't. During the summertime, you'll see it come in the morning, and then it just disintegrates by 10 o'clock, sometimes earlier. Some days you don't see it at all. But some mornings you'll still see it come in. And then for some reason, you never see it in the evening. Like the sunsets there during the summer, it's always perfect sunset. So you see the sun setting over the ocean. If you watch my Instagram, I got one video of the sun setting and there's a surfer out there on the water, and it's kind of like, a little bit brighter than what it is right now. But I got that angle and that video, man. It was a good shot. I'll say that's the beauty of having a mirrorless camera and the lens and knowing a little something about it. You can make some things happen. What you mean? Why I'm laughing when you say something? You doing all caps too? You doing all caps? Of course I'm gonna laugh. Why is my why did my exercise ring get closed? I've been sitting here the whole time, but it thinks I'm doing boxing. It says I've been boxing for 22 minutes. That ain't right. I tell you what, when I'm in the States though, that is one good thing. I got a place where I can hit the bags, and they got real bags. It's not even a boxing gym, it's a gym, but they got a real heavy bag that has weight, has size, is hung properly. They got a real speed bag, although the speed bag rig needs a little bit of work because it was solid, but then it's at its lowest level. So it's easier when you can hit it when it's at. I like to keep my speed bag, the bottom of the bag, like right at my eyes. But right now it's like the top of the bag is at my eyes, which means it's much easier to hit it because it's lower. So you can just keep going. Anyway. And then they got the uppercut bag, like the teardrop bag. I don't know what you call it, but it's like the big teardrop bag. So you can hit it regular, then bow, get some uppercuts on that thing. I'll tell you what, man, if you learn to punch properly, or you've been trained to punch properly, and you do a real boxing workout, that shit is fun, bro. It's different. It's not like any other workout. I'm obviously guys who really box, who are in there sparring and doing all that other stuff, like that's a whole nother level as well too. But there's something. It's a full body workout when you're moving around and punching, and then I believe sparring is taking it to the next level because then you can practice your defense. You got to keep things tight. You deliver something, you got to bring it back. All that's it'll keep you sharp in that type of way. It'll keep you sharp. Body mechanics got to be good. A lot of guys do jujitsu as well, or I feel like those are the two fighting arts that probably get the most attention nowadays from even fitness people. Jiu-jitsu and American traditional boxing. Oh, he boxing tonight? That's tonight? Who's he fighting? Is it the dude from England? The brother from England? Dang. Is it on Amazon Prime? If it ain't on Prime, I ain't paying nothing for that thing, boy. I ain't paying nothing for a Jake Paul fight. I ain't paying nothing for none of them rigged fights. No, don't do all caps. The young people say you yelling. The young people say you yelling when you do all caps. You know? Don't tempt me. I might go back there. It's their summertime too. Don't. I might. Yeah, Anthony Joshua. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, he's fighting Anthony Joshua tonight. That got to be a fake match because he'll kill him for real, for real. When I'm going back there, the magical island of Floripa, I need to go back because another good thing is I had a hotel that was surprisingly cheap, and it was a newer style hotel, and it was just outside of Florianopolis. So for me, I didn't mind if I'm going to the beach, it'd take me 20-minute Uber or 30-minute Uber, whatever it is. I don't care. Like my spot was nice. Yeah. I don't know. I might go back because I went last time. It was at the end of their summer, and it started getting cold right before I left. I was there for 3 months though. I probably should go back. I don't know if it's gonna be this year though. I gotta apply now. You gotta apply for the Brazil visa. You got to get it beforehand, which I think once you get it, it's like 10 years or whatever. So it's all good. But my passport, I feel like if I start getting those type of visas, I don't know if they give you if it's 10 years and they put that big thing in there. Because if they do, this passport is probably going to be, the pages are going to be cooked in another year. So then I have to carry around an old passport if I go back to Brazil. So I got to keep it around just because it has that paper in there. Like the one I have for Ghana, it's in my old passport. So I have to roll around with that one if I'm going to Ghana. I don't want to deal with all that. Hopefully it's electronic. It's probably electronic. Please, Jake Paul, what a clown. If they give me money to watch, I still won't watch. That's a fake fight. A normal fight, AJ will win in seconds. True. True. What you mean only one video? I had multiple videos. You got to go back. You got to look at the playlist, the Brazil playlist. I think that's what it is too. I think I got a Brazil playlist and I got videos in there from Rio and then also Florianopolis. I think I got at least 6 videos from Florianopolis. Check that thing out, man. Florianopolis, I got, at least. I probably should have had more, but I got one from the Selena hostel. I got one of the hostel is the one I remember. I got the one I did actually just recently this year, but it's from 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember. It's at least 6. We did a day on a boat. That one. Did one on Campeche Island. Is also on Florianopolis. Yeah, man. I was working the drone. I got another video where I did the one where I had the tripod up and I walked to different beaches along this one route. And I just put the tripod down and talked to the camera directly like that for a little bit. Then I switched over. Man, I was putting in work in Florianopolis. Them videos ain't do nothing either. But they are beautiful videos. I ain't gonna lie. It was fun making them. Yeah, that is weird. I mean, I believe you too, because it feels like those videos didn't get any kind of exposure. It feels like they didn't get any kind of like the views, like just didn't catch on. One of them caught on. One of them, the Selena one, of the Selena hostel, started catching on later, and I think it's because people were searching for that hostel, and then they found a video. There's a party there and all that stuff, and so I think that's one thing about YouTube too, is sometimes you'll have a video that's slow burn. Most of my videos that do well are slow burners. Like they don't hit right away. The only video that hit right away out the gate was the one that I did almost exactly a year ago from today. Is Comuna 13 in Medellin, Colombia, with Natalie on the thumbnail. And she's a famous face in Medellin, a famous face for Comuna 13 for sure. She's the bartender girl there. And it's funny because like when other girls see her, they're like, what's so special about her? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's nice looking, but then I think it's a lot just her like really, really cool, suave attitude, that people really like. And it seems like, at least as of a year ago, it just seemed like any video that had her was going to do well. Can't say it was going to do millions. Some guys did do millions, but yeah, she just has that She might still be, but I know at that time she was definitely YouTube gold. Oh yeah, you saw the one with the beautiful lady at photoshopped at the beach. Yeah, she was cool too. She was she got hit by a wave, and I didn't have the camera recording video at the time, but that would have been a really cool. I'd have got it. But she was a trooper though, because after that water hit her, it was that water's out there is cold. That joy hit her. She was like, "Oh, time out! I need to take a break and warm up again." And then we continued for a while longer because it was at the end of their summer too, so it was starting to, it might get to like the 70s during the day, but then it starts to cool off really quick, like around the end of April time period. Because I got there the end of February. Yeah, so February, March, April. Yeah, end of April. Yep. People don't know Florianopolis. Yeah, you're right. That's another reason I thought of that too, because people think of Brazil. I heard about Florianopolis like years ago. One of my buddies, California, he's a surfer. He mentioned that to me, and I looked it up. I was like, okay, it does look pretty dope. And it's weird because it looks so much like San Diego. It's like a more untouched, more raw, nature-wise, more raw San Diego, Coronado, Sunset Beach. If you're familiar with the areas I'm talking about now in San Diego, it's like that, but better in as far as like being untouched and being more raw nature, but still has some stuff to do. It's not all nature, obviously, and they have their downtown on the island. Um, and it now I think about it, it is kind of weird, right? Like that island has a city on it, has like a colonial downtown, all of that stuff, and then you drive along the road, go up the island a little bit, and then it turns into this place that has nobody living there and just beautiful beaches and coast. And then up on the north side again is more residential as well. And then they have another little island off the big island that is I think it's about like a 20-minute boat ride away. And that's completely nature. Nobody's living there. And it's good for just going out. They have a nice little beach there. Kind of reminds me of the island off of Pattaya in Thailand. I forgot the name of that island, but it reminds me of that. Oh, it's getting a little chilly out here now, man. That wind came through. That wind is coming through. Chilly for a t-shirt. Jennifer, I was just talking about that. I was just talking about Croatia. I hadn't been there. I need to go though. I need to go to Croatia. Have you been? Tell me what's good. Where should I go in Croatia? I heard of Split and Split is in Croatia, right? And then I think it's another place that starts with a D. But I met some Croatians when I was in Germany. It was a good time. They were cool people, really cool people. But yeah, I know that. I think Croatia is also known for having very beautiful women as well. Hmm? Wait, you're asking if I'm on a different platform now live? No, I'm on YouTube, but I think I'm just on YouTube. I don't know, unless I hit the thing for another platform, but I'm doing vertical and horizontal at the same time. So I'm on a different platform. I'm using a streaming service, but other than that, no, I'm just on YouTube. Coronado and the Bridge. I know a lot about Coronado and the Bridge. I know I knew that bridge when you still had to pay $1 to cross it, and then they stopped charging. Now it's free. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know about La Jolla too. All that. So that's what Florianopolis is like. If you're familiar with that area, Florianopolis will give you that feel. Their bridge, their bridge is not like the Coronado Bridge, but they do have a bridge that goes across. They got two bridges. Actually, I did a dang, that reminds me. I did an Instagram, I made an Instagram reel where I showed some of that bridge because they have this one bridge that's like a walking bridge and it has, it's metal, but it's like crisscross metal so you can actually see through it. And one day was a lot of people walking across. I don't know if I filmed during that, but I got my drone going across that bridge, showing a little bit of that. And I still need to make a video about that day. I got a lot of videos in the queue that need to just come out. So that's one thing I was talking about with a few other people too is I need to just put out more videos. I need to edit more videos. And I'll tell you something. I put out a video 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago now, about the trains in DC and how you can take the trains to the airport in DC. It was like 48 minutes long. It took a long time to film, it took a lot of filming because we filmed all one day. Then we went back another day, filmed another part of it. But it really took me a long time to edit for whatever reason, just because it's a lot going on. I had to cut out a lot of it. So I did a lot of work for that. But and I knew it wouldn't do well. I knew whenever I put in a lot of work on a video over a long period of time, I know it's not going to do well. It's like, I think my editing software is probably talking to YouTube like, look, he's still working on this. They're like, oh yeah, we put that joint out, we tanking that thing. But I put it out. But the thing about it is it was like going to editing school for me again. I mean, all of this is school, but it made me pay attention to different things and maybe study a few things in a different way. So the key for me now is to constantly be editing. Like every day, I feel like I gotta do something for editing. If I don't edit for a day, it's like, oh, okay, it's because of something happened or I was busy doing something where it didn't make sense for me to be at the computer. But most days I'm gonna spend at least like, to me, an hour editing now is like 5 minutes. And sometimes I can get a lot done in that hour. Other times I might not do a lot, but it's I think it's just like any activity. If you do it enough, you start getting to a groove of it. It starts to become like part of your nature to do that thing. And it's enjoyable at the same time. It's enjoyable doing editing and then even learning new parts of how to edit, trying new techniques that y'all might not even notice because there's small things. Unless you're an editor, you wouldn't know what they might make sense to you, but you wouldn't really see the impact of it. But what I've noticed is it's like those small changes like that just they can make a video bad for some reason and then just good for some reason. And you look at it and be like, why is this even enjoyable or not enjoyable? So I'm trying to be more in tune with that side of editing versus going flashy. Sometimes you want to have fun and you throw something a little flashy in there that the audience will pick up on. But I feel like most of good editing is kind of like, imagine like if you're in the water in the ocean, like a wave coming up in the dark and it just kind of picks you up. It's not the wave that crashes on you or just throws you. It's just the one that rolls you up, keeps you moving. That's what I'm trying to do. I know I'm talking some abstract stuff right now, but oh, because I talk. Well, Jennifer's here on YouTube. You didn't see because I talk about Jennifer, but I don't see her here in the chat. I don't know because when I look at it from here, I see her. She has a YouTube thing beside her, but I don't know. Maybe she's chatting from some other platform. Unless I'm seeing Ghost in the chat. Let me see something right quick. What is this? They're making all these little changes in the software too. Oh, I can do it like this. Okay, I can even do this. Jesus. Yeah, so let me this is all new. We doing a little class on this joint now. But these are all the chats. So we can do what's this? Regular, tall, wide. So if that's the case, I don't need to pop that down. Just do it like that. Small, medium, big. Yeah. All right, let's do tall though. No, tall don't look straight. Regular. There we go. And we do medium. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. So that way I don't have to click on and then do it. I can just let the chat roll in like that. I like this. I like the fact that some of these softwares, man, they be evolving. They be doing their thing and adding new features in. And I need to check and see what else they've been adding and here's the other thing. Here's another reason why I need to do more lives. I'm paying for the service either way. I'm just throwing away money if I ain't doing a live. Or I need to pause the service. So yeah, we gotta start utilizing this. But like I said, we gotta do it to a point where it's not overtaking the videos. We don't want to become, or if I do, then just start a whole new channel where it's about the lives. That's what I said. See what I'm saying? She right there. Don't tell me that. Tell Moni that. She said she don't see you. I know you see her now, right? Because I got her right there. Right here. It feels different when I point their way. Okay, right there in the chat. Right here. Bow. Jennifer Vickers. 4835. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool doing the travel vlogs, being in the travel space. I guess it can get a little old, always moving around, always traveling. And I've been saying this for probably 2 years now. For me, the whole idea of like traveling to some place and staying there for 3 days and hopping and going to another place, I can still do it, and I may still do it. I probably still will do it every now and then. But that's not the go-to. The go-to is go to a place and feel it out, settle in, get comfortable, and then venture out, do some things while I'm enjoying myself, and figure out some things to take video of, do that, come back, edit, and do it like that. Or be in a region and have a place that I'm treating like a home base. From that home base, whether it's 3 months or longer, could be even, a year even, out of that home base, take short little trips to places that are, within like a 2.5 hour flight or less. And then just hop from there. Like when I think of that, I think of Asia. I think of either home basing out of, a few different countries, and then just hopping around the region. And what's crazy is the perfect place to hop in and out of would be Australia because it's so expensive. And then if you hop to, say, something like Bali or Thailand and you home base out of there, that would be perfect because they are much cheaper. But it still feels like, you're going to have to, it's quite a long flight, even from Bali. I think it's if you want to go from Bali to Sydney, I think it's at least 5 hours, probably more. From Bali to the north part of Australia might be 4 or 5 hours, four maybe, but not many people are going to that part. Not many people are going to that part of that place. So who knows? But I think that's the plan for the future is to home base it, make home bases. And now that I think about it, you only need like a home base in South America, and preferably like Lima is a perfect home base because it's deep enough in South America where it makes sense. If you home based out of, for this purpose, if you home based out of Colombia, you might as well just home base out of the States. Now, Colombia is cheaper and you are much closer to other parts of South America, but you're still going to take a flight if you want to go down to Brazil, southern Brazil. But when you're in Lima, Argentina, southern Brazil, Colombia, whatever, all of that's within, I believe all of it's within 4 hours. So most of it is within 2. I don't know, I could be wrong, but either way, you get my point. You're closer to all those areas when you're in a place like Lima. Flights are cheaper. Everything, can be planned out from there more accurately, I feel like. Yeah. Bogota, or Colombia in general wouldn't be a bad home base either. It's just that, I don't know. I feel like Colombia's been, I don't know, it's been getting a lot of news lately about, hasn't been good. Like crime is one thing, which has always been the thing. And if you're from the States, you're probably used to crime. But every place has a different flavor of it. But I don't know, just kind of I wouldn't say it's getting played out. I know some other people said that. Like Colombia is always going to have a place in my heart. Like that's just what it is. It's something about I know everybody wants to say, yeah, the women, blah, blah. Yes, they have beautiful women. Everybody knows this. Women around the world know this. Everybody knows that. But it is something else about the culture there, the sensibility of people, the emotional intelligence of a lot of people is very high there. And I don't know how to describe it, but it just is. Something like they can sense how you feel a little bit more than most places, especially in that Medellin area or people who are from that area. Because I met some of them who are from that region in Bogota, and they still have a really good sense of hospitality and how to fill people out. So I don't know what that is, but I've never really felt that as much as I did in Medellin. So it's weird because that area, especially Medellin, is it's got a lot of crime going on, but it's also you can feel really comfortable at times there. One of the guys, if you watch one of my videos where one of the guys was describing like things to look out for in Colombia or in Medellin, we were talking offline and he mentioned something about like, we talked about the threat of scolopamine, people drugging people's drinks and all that. And he mentioned to me that, there's so much scolopamine growing around the area that there's people getting micro doses of it all the time. So he's like, and that when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, that might describe some of the, it might be making people nicer. That's what I'm trying to say. It might be like making people more emotionally aware of each other or something. Probably is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I also then I did some research and I started noticing that plant. And if you see it, because all they do when they take it is they take the seeds out of it, out of the the flour and they grind it up and they make it. I don't even think they do any processing to it. So, and I'm not saying this so anybody tries to use it on somebody, because if you do, you probably gonna get in a lot of trouble, a lot of heat, maybe, maybe worse. But that's just something to be noted about the region. I also saw that same plant when I was in Lima. Actually, I got a video where I'm walking down the area of Barranco, and I'm kind of showing that plant. It looks like a trumpet, like a yellow trumpet. It's long and then it sprouts out and it's always facing down. So a white or light yellow color. Anyway. What else? We've been on here for 2 hours, man. I think it might be time to wrap this thing up just because I'm almost out of talking. I think y'all out of commenting, unless y'all just shy because I got the comments on the thing now where you can see the whole thing up there. I think that's what happened. People got gun shy once I put that up. Yeah, let's get some Reggie. It's getting a little late everywhere. It's Friday night, people trying to go out, and in Europe, it's definitely late. But I appreciate y'all. Some of y'all have mentioned you haven't seen, you wanted to see more content from certain places, and I'm like, I got the content there. Just go through the videos, man. See what you missed. Comment on the videos, like them, of course, if you like them, and check back because I'm gonna be dropping some more stuff. I think I'm gonna dive into this editing a lot more. Real quick, you said, does Lima have a scope problem? I haven't heard that until I went there, and I was there one day, and I met this guy in a Starbucks after we had a little earthquake tremor. I was in a Starbucks, and that'll get people talking afterwards, right? So started talking with this one dude, and he was like, yeah, you do have to watch out for that if you're in the, and he was talking about the area that's like their Provenza. It's called Pizza Street. In my video where I show the nightlife of Lima, we walk through there, and it's an area that's kind of lit up. You see bars and restaurants on both sides. That's where the scams may happen and the druggings could possibly happen there. But yeah, he said it does happen. And then even when I was walking with the two girls, the video where I got the one girl, she's actually Peruvian, but she kind of looks Asian. It's her and another girl on the thumbnail. I forgot the name of the video, but she talks about how one of her friends got drugged there. So it happens. It's there. They got it. And if you make yourself an easy target, it can happen. 126 in Italy. Okay. Have a good night. I appreciate you. Take care. Pleasure as always. Okay. See you soon. And I think that's it for the questions. So I'm going to sign off. It's starting to get a little chilly here. It's probably like 68 degrees. You know what I mean? I'm in a t-shirt, little wind. It ain't nothing like the East Coast though, or any place up north where it's getting real cold. But I appreciate y'all, and we are out. Stay tuned. I'm gonna drop something about this place in a few days. Give me a few days. I'm gonna drop something. All right.